Good morning, my little newsies. How are my little newsies doing? It's 9:21 and 66 degrees. I have a long day at work today. I have to be there at 10. My coffee and my heavy whipping cream. So this is like my first video I'm doing since I've been back from Vegas. I have put up a couple of videos. Well, actually, I mean the first video that you guys are actually seeing my face. So as y'all see, I braided my hair. When I was there in Vegas, okay, this is the scenario. I got off work on Saturday at 2 o'clock. I had to go make a 99-cent run because I needed some baking powder to make some cornbread muffins. Now, it came to where I went to that 99-cent store in the city where I work, and they did not have it. But because I was going to the 99-cent store, I also had to go to the bank because I had to draw out some money to pay my rent. I like to pay my rent cash, so I was drawing out some money. And I told her, the owner, that I was going to be back so I can pay my rent. So since I was going to the 99-cent store, she gave me a list. Everything was in one aisle from the list. It was like forks, spoons, cups, bowls for the paper goods for the clients. Hold on. So I made my withdrawal at the bank. I got all the things from the 99-cent store, and I go back. Okay, this time it's probably somewhere getting close to 2:30. I still had to go pick up a crib for my daughter, or for Tyka, and the crib was in, if y'all know anything about California, it was in Garden Grove, and that's Orange County, and I was coming from Upland, so it was like about an hour, I will say about an hour, 10-minute drive, because there were some slowdowns. I believe there were 2 slowdowns. So I got the crib. Once I picked up the crib, and I finally got to fit in the back of my car. I had to go to the bathroom so bad. So I went towards the freeway, but I seen a McDonald's. So I swooped into the McDonald's, went to the bathroom. Okay, now I can make it. Well, now I'm going from Garden Grove to San Bernardino. Well, Rialto, which is basically right next door to San Bernardino. And it tells me it's going to take me an hour. I think it was about an hour and 10 minutes to get there. Okay, on the way back, I had 2 slowdowns. One was an 8-minute slowdown. I remember this one. It was an 8-minute slowdown, and then we went maybe an exit, and then there was another 5-minute slowdown. So I did not get back to Rialto until after 5. Now, I still need to get that cornbread. I still need to make the cornbread muffins, but I decided not to. I just go to the 99-cent store and pick up some rolls. I'm expecting the rolls to be 99 cents. All of a sudden, I'm looking, the rolls is $1.99, and I'm like, and I knew that 99-cent store had, oh my gosh, I knew that 99-cent store had the baking powder So I grabbed a couple of the baking powders. So I'm like, I'm not going to let myself run out. And then, so I grabbed up a couple. And so by the time I got to the house, I know I'm making myself tired. So when I got back to the house, I just buttered the rolls, put them in a container. My son already made his lunch and his dinner for Sunday, and then all I did was made his breakfast for Sunday, and this was Father's Day. Okay, so we didn't leave until I'm thinking about 6:30. So we didn't get to Vegas until about 10. I want to say 10:15 because we did make a stop. Your girl know y'all gotta. I had to go potty. My son wanted to eat. I had already made my dinner to take with me while I was making. Somebody lost their whole freaking bed frame. You know, once that stuff fly off a truck, it's pretty much broken up. But anyway, back to my story. So we got there about 10:15. I drove all the way. So first thing I do is I grab when we pulled in the park, I grabbed my purse and maybe my water, something like that. And I might have grabbed the bag, I'm not sure. And I went inside the apartment and I grabbed the baby and I let my son and my daughter take everything out the car. I wasn't taking nothing out the car. I didn't drove. I'm tired. So about 11 o'clock, I started to braid my daughter's hair. Okay? So the hair that she bought is the hair that I also have in my hair too. I have the same that she have. So we started on her hair, I say about 11. And at 3 o'clock in the morning, I was just about finished. And oh my goodness. So I was debating. I'm like, should I just go ahead and get ready for church? And I says, no, I'm going to lay down. So I laid down until about, I think about 6, maybe 6:30. And I got up and changed the baby and fed the baby. So then I decided to go ahead and take my shower, go ahead and get ready for church. So I decided to take the baby too. My daughter was going to go, but she was real tired. I know she was tired because I was braiding hair and my son was talking to me. And I'm like, did you see that? I fell asleep. And because he was just talking to me and I was falling asleep on him while I'm braiding hair. And then I would braid down so far to the end, at least to the end of my daughter's hair, her natural hair, and then I would throw her to braid in the front and she would braid the rest till the end. So she was falling asleep too. So I got up, like I said, I went on and took my shower after I changed the baby, fed the baby, and I went to church with the baby. Talking about car seat struggles, that's me. I was having car seat struggles. I'm like, I'm not carrying a car seat, the seat part in the church. I just wrap the baby up and take the baby. Actually, I just put a sheet over him because of the sun. So, I mean, I was like hoping I didn't fall asleep or anything. But let me back up. I went to my parents' house. with the baby first because I don't know the way to the church. So many times I've been, I don't know the way. But anyway, I had went over there with the baby, and I was over there like 9:30, and so we didn't leave till like 10 o'clock. And my daddy thought he had the usher, so he has on his usher suit. Come to find out, he didn't have the usher because it was Father's Day. So no, none of the men had to usher. Excuse me. But anyway, everybody was around me. Oh, the baby, the baby, the baby, the baby. So it's so funny. They said earlier that we didn't go to the early service. And at the early service, they had a 1-week-old baby. And they said it was so tiny. And they said that they thought it was a doll until she'd seen the lady feed the baby, and the baby was sucking on the bottle. And anyway, they was like, I'm like, well, Tyka, he's a month old. And his last weight that I know about is 6 pounds, 7 ounces. So I'm not sure if he's gotten any bigger. But anyway, let me go on. So I think that Tyka was hearing my stomach growl, because when I was giving him the bottle, every time I was giving him the bottle while my stomach was growling. Every time my stomach would growl, he would stop sucking. I'm like, this boy, he's hearing my stomach growl. But anyway, I was hungry, so I still went over to my parents' house after church because I rode with them. So I went back in to visit with them. Then a friend came over before I left. So she was talking about what she's going to buy the baby and what she can afford or whatever. It doesn't matter to me how much the gift costs or how little the gift costs. It's just the thought that counts. So if you come to me with a sock or a pair of socks, you come to me with a pacifier, it's all the thoughts that count. And it really didn't matter. So I don't know why people would say that. But anywho, I visited over there till almost 3. No, it was like 2:30 because they were going to go to, I knew something was funny. I didn't put on my eyelashes. But anyway, at least I don't have to worry about them falling off with all this tears in my eyes. But anyway, they decided, my dad wanted to go to Crackle Barrel. So I told them that I couldn't go. First of all, the baby only had 1 more diaper. Second of all, I already changed the outfit. And pretty much we couldn't go because I don't know. And I only had the 1 bottle. And the craziest thing, my daughter, she kept texting, calling, what are y'all doing? I'm like, girl, you supposed to be I'm giving you a break. You better do whatever you gonna do, wanna do, pump, sleep, whatever. But anyway, I told her I was on my way. Or did I? Yeah. Because I didn't think to take the gate key. So, when she opened the gate for me, and so she opened the gate, and I get out the car when I parked, and I get out the car, she's heading for the door. I'm like, excuse me, you're not even going to help me? I not only have the baby bag, my purse, the car seat I've been struggling with, and then another bag from my mother's house of bell peppers and peaches and kale from her garden. Yeah, I need some help here. So she came back to help me. So she grabbed something, I don't know, maybe the baby. She grabbed the car seat. She went on in the apartment, and I'm coming along, and right as I'm coming, the next door neighbor was lighting up to barbecue, lighting up the grill to barbecue. I was about to say, he asked me how I was doing. I'm like, I'm okay. I was so freaking tired. So was about to ask him about barbecue, but when I was about 10 steps away from the door, I seen a pizza man coming, and then the pizza man slowed up like he's giving me the leeway to go on in. And when I go to get to almost to the door, and then he's following behind me, I'm like, what? We got pizza? My daughter opened up the door. I'm like, what? Y'all ordered pizza? And they set it in the kitchen. I went and I don't even know what I did. I put my bags down, washed my hands. I think I have to go to the bathroom, wash my hands. I can't remember. And then I came in the kitchen. I grabbed me a slice of pizza, a breadstick, and one of the wings. They don't have the whole wing, but the winglets. And I sat down and ate that. And next thing y'all know, I was almost falling out the chair because I had fallen asleep. I still had my church clothes. So I decided to, after I had rocked in the chair and about to fall out, I decided to go ahead and change my clothes. And the clothes I'm going to wear to drive back home. So I came there to actually go to sleep. So I went into the baby's room, which the baby is not using yet, but I went into the baby's room. And I sat in a chair in the baby's room. Then I got tired of sitting in a chair that's in there with the computer on, or the notebook or laptop on my lap. And I decided to go ahead and lay on the floor. There's beds in there, but there ain't no bed in there that can support me. So I laid on the floor with a pillow. I had one of these long pillows, and I laid it, and I laid on the pillow. And I took the big pink stuffed animal, and I put my head on it. And I pretty much went to sleep there. And then I woke up like 3 in the morning, and my hair was killing me. I had a headache, so I just laid there until like 3:30. And then I got up because I wanted to leave by 4. Well, we didn't leave at 4. It was after 4. It was probably about 4:30. So I need to get back before this man wake up. I need to get back to my job because I need to make my 8 hours. So, the whole time we were there, my son didn't hold the baby until we got ready to go. So he went and washed his hands after he put all his stuff in the car. He washed his hands and he came and sat down, and I gave him the baby and he fed the baby. And of course that took time. But I told him, you haven't even held the baby since we've been here. And then again, I did take the baby away from them because they stayed at the apartment so he could put up the crib that we had brought there. So I do have a video up already with Tyka and Nala. Tyka, we put him in the crib, not to sleep there, just to lay him in there to see how humongous the crib is compared to his little body. And I did not realize that he was still smaller than the cat. But every time the Tyka went, Nala is checking on him. So I didn't catch the part where Nala jumped up there and she licked his feet before she laid like she did. But I did catch in the video after. So if y'all want to go check that video out, it is up. It is called, the original title was Tyka and Nala. But I thought about Tyka. I got a date on his surgery, and it's in July, so I added the surgery in there, his upcoming surgery. So that is my little, I don't know what you call that. I guess you would call that a story time of being in Vegas. But yeah. So my newsies, I'm almost at work. It's 9:42, so I guess I'm gonna make it to work on time. The traffic was good. It was crowded, but there was no slow up, no accidents or nothing. But let me tell y'all something. I did not finish. When we were driving from Vegas, even though I slept and I slept on the floor. But in 3 days, I only had 12 hours of sleep. That's what my Fitbit told me. And I know it's okay to sometimes to not sleep like that and, be up. But when you have to drive, that's not cool. So when we were driving on the way back, I actually made it to, as long as the traffic was going, I was fine. But I put on the Google Maps because I need to know what time we're going to make it there. So we were supposed to make it there by 8 o'clock, but we didn't actually make it there until about 8:30. And then it got as bad as we weren't going to make it there till like 9 o'clock. So there was an accident, a really bad accident or whatever that was going on, and it was going to be a 31-minute slowdown at the time, way before we got to it. So I'm pretty sure it had gotten longer. So I told my son, I pulled off in on Linwood Street, and we exchanged seats. And so he drove in, and we took an alternate route, which still got us there at 8:30. Otherwise, we weren't going to make it till like 9 o'clock because of that 31-minute slowdown. And it took us around it and brought us right into the end of it. 1 minute into the end of it. So when we got there, he was already up, and he was already dressed, and he was already in the kitchen warming up a plate of food that my son had fixed. So I don't know if he or someone came and picked him up for Father's Day and treated him to a meal, which he ended up having a meal, but the man would have been hungry. Oops, my Rapunzel here. So the man would have been hungry. So anyway, he took care of himself, and he was happy to see us. So as always, my newsies, we got a glare here. Yep, there's a glare. So as always, my newsies, go ahead and subscribe. It's free. It's always free. And if I could say I love you, you can definitely love yourself. Bye.